What's up, Renegades? It's me, I'm Lupine Fiasco, back with more daily FaB content for you. Today we are playing against Vynnset. For those of you who are new to the channel, the way this works is I will play a game on Talishar, record that, and bring commentary to you. We're going to watch the recording together. I'm going to go through hand by hand how I would play out the turn cycle. We'll see what I did during that gameplay and compare the two results if they are different. The point of all this being to tighten up our gameplay and get better results in our competitive events. Let's take a look at the deck and the sideboard plan. Coming into Vynnset, we are using our Emberblade list. You can find that deck tech on my channel. The deck link itself is available in the video description below if you would like to try this on Talishar for yourself. While you are down there, be sure to like the video, leave a comment if you have any questions or comments for me, and most important, if you have not already done so, please subscribe to my channel. It is the best way to support free FaB content every day. I am posting gameplay videos, deck techs, soon card-to-card comparisons. Subscribing will get you notified anytime new content goes up on my channel, and it does a lot to help me. For the sideboard itself, we are not changing any of our weapons or equipment, and we are not changing any of the cards in our deck. We don't need defense reactions against Vynnset. We don't particularly like Command and Conquer against Runeblades. They usually run Crown of Providence. And these games tend to go pretty short, so Crown of Providence negating the power of the first CNC means that sometimes we don't get to find second CNC. We don't get the benefit of that effect, so we would rather play a full aggro list and not worry about having our turn cluttered with Searing Emberblade and Command and Conquer. Having lost the die roll, our Vynnset is going to go first. If we had won, we would also want to go first. Vynnset basically time walks herself. There is not much she can do on a first turn. She generally does not have the ability to play a Runegate card through pitch, nor would she particularly want to when we can just block. So Vynnset's first turn is a lot of setup. Read the runes, activate Grasp of the Arknight, banish a Runegate card from hand, arsenal a card, and pass. So given the choice, we want to go first, try to leak a little damage if we can, set up an arsenal of our own. But in this case, we are going to go second. Let's jump into the game, see how it all plays out. And we're in. Phoenix Flame goes into the graveyard. Vynnset banishes to her hero ability and arsenals a card. It puts us in a position to push some damage, but like I said, we would have loved to leak a little damage on turn 0, arsenal a card. You can see how that does not pay off. Going second, Vynnset just gets to set up the board. So how are we playing out this turn 1? We have 2 blue brands in hand. We would like to set up a 5-card hand moving into our next turn in case of Art of War, a double finisher with Lava Burst, Salt the Wound, or even just pushing good damage. So we want to play out 3 of these cards. One of our brands is being used for pitch. The question is, do we want to arsenal our Ronin Renegade or our second blue brand? The game just started. All of Vynnset's armor is available. She has plenty of cards in hand and arsenal. If I'm making this call now, I want to arsenal my Ronin Renegade, so I would play out a blue brand, pitch blue brand to attack with Emberblade, activate FaB to attack with Phoenix Flame. Phoenix Flame does get the Shuko bonus, and we end the turn with a Soul Bead Strike. This maximizes damage while putting maximum damage into our arsenal, and we see that isn't what I do here in this game. So far, Vynnset going full non-blocks. Possibly she is waiting for a better opportunity later in the turn. You can see by playing out the hand so that we are arsenaling a blue brand with Cinderclaw, we're setting up a weaker turn 3. We are also missing out on our Shuko trigger. So essentially, we burned a point of damage on this turn cycle. We do arsenal our blue brand, but we could have had more damage had we kept the Ronin Renegade. Vynnset banishing the Widespread Destruction. Playing out Shadow Puppetry comes in with 3 Rune Chants and Widespread Destruction. We run no Arcane Barrier in this matchup, so we are taking 3 damage just off the bat. Widespread Destruction hits the Arsenal, so it kind of works out for us that we had played out our Ronin Renegade instead of our blue brand. We did push a little more damage, but overall, I think it's still a mistake. Not having the blue brand is a bummer. This turn would be a lot stronger if we could work another 0-cost, 1-power Draconic attack into our turn, but we still are looking to play out this hand. We can have a good Spreading Flames turn with what we have available. We'll play out the Spreading Flames, we'll pitch the Soulbead Strike. We can attack with Emberblade, Lava Vein Loyalty, which gets the Spreading Flames buff, activate our FaB, attack with Phoenix Flame, which gets the Spreading Flames and Shuko buffs, and finish up with Salt the Wound based on how Vynnset blocks. You're going to see me trigger Mask of the Pouncing Lynx in this turn cycle. I don't agree with this decision in hindsight. Yes, getting a little more value out of our Spreading Flames feels good, but Vynnset is at such a high life total, we really want to save our Pouncing Lynx until Vynnset is at maybe half of the life total she's at now, so that all of our small attacks become must blocks. We want Vynnset to have to put a real card in front of our Lava Vein Loyalty and our Phoenix Flame because they each represent 5 more damage if they hit. Breaking Pouncing Lynx this early takes away that threat that is hanging over Vynnset. She knows that our cards represent their printed power. They don't represent any additional Pouncing Lynx triggers to find a Lava Burst or Salt the Wound. We do apparently pressure Vynnset into some aggressive blocking, giving us armor, giving us cards from hand, and giving us that Crown of Providence. I'm not sure if she has a read on a double finisher turn here, with her only taking damage from 2 links. We are not going to play out our Salt the Wound, we are going to arsenal it. Vynnset playing out Runeblood, incantation, Breaking Quill Hand, comes in with Deathly Wail for 4 Rune Chant damage, the Deathly Wail damage of 5, and a Rune Chant on the back half of the Wail. We can take all of this damage. We still are at life parity. Let's talk about this hand. We have our red brand, Lava Vein Loyalty, Flame Call Awakening, and a Phoenix Flame in discard, plus our Salt the Wound. We're going to play out this entire hand. Vynnset would have to block very aggressively to not take a lot of damage from Salt at the end of this turn. We can lead with Branded Cinderclaw, follow with the Emberblade, Lava Vein Loyalty, Phoenix Flame, and finish up with our Flame Call Awakening. We want to save the Flame Call for as late in the turn cycle as we can. Flame Call represents 2 chain links of damage. That is important information, especially if we are thinking that Vynnset put us on Salt the Wound on our last turn, which is why she blocked so aggressively. So sequencing generally doesn't matter when you are on an Emberblade list. You play out the damage as it is available, but with our Flame Call Awakening representing a little extra damage than Vynnset might be expecting, we want to delay that. Coming in with our Lava Vein Loyalty for 1 with Go again, gets the Carapace block. We will follow up with Phoenix Flame for 2, getting the Shuko trigger. No blocks here. Let's play the Flame Call. We have an option to arsenal this Phoenix Flame instead of playing it, but with Salt the Wounded Arsenal, this Phoenix Flame represents 2 points of damage if it hits, which we are happy to take advantage of. Vynnset taking 6 points of damage off of the Salt, keeping 3 cards in hand, banishing a Deathly Wail. Coming in with Mauve Skies Yellow, we take our 3 points of Runechant damage and are asked whether we want to block this Deathly Wail for 4. This Deathly Wail represents 6 points of damage. If it hits, Vynnset generates 2 Runechants. That's a big deal when it comes to Vynnset. For 2 Runechants, she doesn't have a ton of impactful Runegate options, but for 3 Runechants, a lot more of her deck comes online, and if she's able to keep cards in hand to play something like Envelop in Darkness, 4 Runechants really gets her in a position to take tempo back in this game. So, generally blocking the Mauve Skies effect is worth giving up cards from hand. Our hand here is a bit good, actually. We would want to keep this entire hand, which means blocking with Shuko. We're blocking with our Flamescale Furnace no matter what. The question is, do we want to block with Shuko or with Mounting Anger, assuming that we're playing out our entire hand. Playing out our entire hand here represents 4, 7, 8, 9, 14 points of damage, if we're assuming we don't have Shuko here. 14 points of damage gets at least 3 cards from Vynnset's hand for her to not be dead. Vynnset's ability would take the 4th card from her hand, which is great news for us. Giving up the Mounting Anger in the Flamescale Furnace would leave us at 1, 4, 6, 11 points of damage. Giving up our Brand with Cinderclaw puts us at 7 points of damage, 9 if we wanted to play Lava Burst, but we would likely arsenal it. With Vynnset at 8, with Vynnset being a hero that wants to keep cards in hand in order to take advantage of Runegate, Envelop, and other attack buffs, I really want to push damage here. If I'm making this call now, I am blocking this Deathly Wail with Furnace and Shuko, playing out my 14 damage hand, and letting Vynnset decide how she wants to deal with that. In this game, I make the decision to block with the Mounting Anger. We're only giving up 3 points of damage to do this. We are keeping our Shuko, which we will get to trigger. So it isn't the worst call. I wouldn't call this a mistake, but I do think that we would have been better off blocking with the Shuko and throwing another 4 points of damage, 3 points of damage, excuse me, into this turn. Even so, we are getting blocks from Vynnset. This Lava Burst will take her down to 2 if it hits, taking her to 5 instead. This card from hand just gets banished. It is a Runegate card. Deathly Wail with 4 Runechants is a big deal. We have to take this Runechant damage, and now we are looking at Deathly Wail hitting for 6, taking us to 6, generating a Runechant from the card's effect, and looking at a second Runechant from the Runeblood incantation. What we need to consider is not, can we stop this on hit? No, we can't. We've already taken Runechant damage. Vynnset is going to get a rune chant from the Deathly Whale and another from the Runeblade incantation. So what we need to think about is what life total are we comfortable being at? We have a hand here that can absolutely end the game. With our Shuko still on the table, Double Strike represents 3 points of damage, Ronin Renegade is another 3, Emberblade is another 3, and Ravenous Rabble could represent as much as 4 points of damage. That's 13 damage. With Vynnset at 5, she needs to prevent 9 of that damage. That is 3 cards from hand, assuming that she has enough 3 blocks to block all of that out. This puts her at 1 and really limits her options for counterattack. But let's say that she manages to banish a 2-cost Runegate card. If we're at 6, we take 2 points of damage, go to 4, and now have to worry about blocking out this Runegate card so that we don't die, and also thinking about the potential of more rune chant damage later on. Our Tiger Stripe Shuko is important for us right now to try to win the game. This hand is very playable on its own. Flamescale Furnace is the weak link in this chain. I don't believe we're going to need the activated ability to finish out this game. I am going to block the Deathly Whale for 1, keep 1 additional point of life, and put myself farther away from dying an unpreventable death. We'll play out this hand. Sequencing here does not particularly matter. If we attack with our 3 power attacks early, Vynnset has the ability to block with 3 block cards. If we send our 2 damage Double Strike, Vynnset can block with a 2 block card. She has plenty of them. This isn't something like Lexi or a Guardian where we want to threaten lethal with 1 and 2 power attacks. With Vynnset, it really doesn't matter. We're just looking to play out what we have in hand. Vynnset choosing to block the Phoenix Flame with a real card. Ravenous Rabble coming in for 4. Vynnset decides to pack it up. Really quick game. That is how our Runeblade games tend to go. They're trying to aggro us down, we are trying to aggro them down. Generally not blocking. In this matchup and against Viscerai, I will prioritize blocking Mavri and Skies. With Vynnset in particular, you can look at her Banish Zone if she has a second Runegate card in Banish. Blocking the Maw of Skies becomes especially important so you don't get hit with another Runegate effect. But for the most part, you're going no blocks aggro. You just hit her until she dies. If you have any comments, any questions for me, you can leave them in the comments section below. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this game. I hope you learned a bit. I am happy with the way things played out. I largely agree with the way I played this game in the past, which makes me feel like I have a pretty good handle on the matchup. I hope you all enjoyed yourself. I am looking forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for more daily FaB gameplay. Have a good one.